And so you end up just competing on price alone. And that is not a battle that I want to get into. And it's one I've learned from experience. It's just not one that's worth winning.
Lewis and I have learned from experience that there are some products that you want to avoid dropshipping at all costs if you want to succeed. Today, that's what this episode is all about. We're talking about the products that you should absolutely avoid dropshipping if you want to save time, money, and crucially, avoid lots of headaches. So Lewis, ready to share some insights on what to steer clear of?
Absolutely. Yep. Let's go. This is going to be some vital information that can make or break your dropshipping business right from the outset. So keen to dive into it today.
Awesome. First up, let's talk about low ticket items, which I know is where we first started when we got introduced to the concept of dropshipping. Why do you think that people should avoid dropshipping products such as water bottles?
Yeah, you see so many of these, don't you? You actually see them as ads as a consumer on your social media feed. And if you got an eye for it, you start to realize, that's a water bottle that's being drop shipped. I can see that same item on AliExpress for £5 or £2 versus the £30 that this seller's trying to mark it up for. So that low ticket drop shipping. The main reason is probably the low profit margins. Selling low ticket items just means that because of such low profit per sale, you need such a high volume of sales to make a decent overall monthly profit. We talk about target monthly income for your business. Like, what's your current salary in your job? Now, how many low ticket sales would you need per month to replace that salary? It's a lot more when you sell really slim margin products than it would be if you just sold one or two higher priced, higher profit items. So it's kind of like trying to fill up your income bathtub with a dripping tap and just doing it one drip at a time and just like turning on the tap and then turning it off, turning it on, turning it off. It's like extremely slow, tedious, inefficient process. So that's probably the main reason, just the numbers, the financials. The other things though to consider are the high competition. You know, these products like these water bottles that you see, the fidget spinners, whatever the new trending TikTok dropshipping product that everyone's talking about is at the moment, that's usually coming from Temu or AliExpress. And, you know, they say, you just mark this up and this, watch the sales flood in. Well, if you're thinking it's that easy, imagine how many other people have done exactly the same with the same product. So these products are usually flooded in the marketplace, making it very hard for you to actually stand out. And so you end up just competing on price alone. And that is not a battle that I want to get into. And it's one I've learned from experience. It's just not one that's worth winning. Because if you just keep saying, okay, well, we'll do it cheaper, we'll give away 3 bottles for the price of 1, eventually you erode your profit margin so much because all you could do is compete on price because it's such a commoditized product that eventually you just make no money per sale and those sellers go out of business. The other thing as well is you've got to think about, well, how are we going to acquire these customers in the first place? You know, the concept of build it and they shall come, unfortunately, doesn't quite work in e-commerce. Yes, you need to build it, the store, the products, get the suppliers, but then to expect customers to just flock to your store and start buying is unrealistic. It's a bit of a pipe dream. The reality is you will probably need to pay for some traffic through ad spend to get people to your store. Now, of course, there's other ways of doing it. There's shout outs, there's influencer marketing, there's SEO. It's just a bit of a longer game. But if you want sales straight away, if you're looking to replace your income, then you probably want to drive some ad spend to your site. Now, what you'll find with lower priced, low ticket items, you'll spend more on ads to drive the necessary volume of sales, which eats into your already thin profit margin. So if your cost per sale on ads is higher than the profit that you make on each sale, there's no point doing it. You're just losing money. You're giving money to Mark Zuckerberg and Google and giving it away. So it's kind of like running a marathon with a backpack full of bricks. You're running, you're spending on ads, you're trying to run your business, but you're just weighed down by the economics that are just stacked against you because it's just, that is not stacked in your favor. Whereas if you're selling higher priced items with more profit, it covers the ad spend. And there's a whole raft of reasons why we have the home turf advantage model with some very specific criteria to address all of these problems. But I'd say that, James, those are the main reasons why you want to be very wary of going into a low ticket niche when it comes to dropshipping.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I mean, before I came across Dropship Unlocked and the masterclass program, I was dropshipping low ticket items, and all of those reasons that you just highlighted there, I found out in really vivid detail because I was going through that pain of understanding that my ad spends are way too high and were much higher than the small profits that I was going to make per order. Also, the competition was a big one, because I think a lot of people, when they think about dropshipping, they think, well, I'm very new to dropshipping. I'll start with cheap products, because surely starting with cheap products is going to be easier than selling high ticket products. But what you do then is you follow the masses of people that think the same. And so you're in a much more densely populated market, because a lot of people are trying to sell those cheap products that are trendy. And actually the high ticket products become the ones to sell with low competition, because people don't view themselves as able to sell them yet. But it works very much in your favor to start with high ticket rather than the low ticket, even if it's your first time ever running an e-commerce business. I found this out the hard way. I failed in my low ticket business and then moved into high ticket. I think the main difference between the two, Lewis, as you alluded to straight away, is the profit per order. Because the way that it works with low ticket is, because you make, say, £10 per order in profit, then to cover your salary and to start running a business full time, you need to, say, make £3,000 a month. So you need 300 orders making £10 profit per order in order to sustain that business. And being a type of operator that can operate an e-commerce business that makes 300 sales every month is a very advanced e-commerce business. You have to have good operations in place to be able to deal with that. So I think actually it's something that you'd look into after doing high ticket dropshipping. You could consider low ticket. It's more advanced to do that. Whereas the high ticket game, if we're making £300 profit per order, and we've got the same goal of getting to 3K a month with net income, then you just need to make 10 sales every month. And that's a lot easier to operate. You've got more room to play with in terms of ad spend as well. And that's the reason why we always go with high ticket instead of low ticket when we're building our e-commerce businesses.